What does first win as a Jet?
Technically my second. We all know that. Somehow that first one counts.
Aaron Rodgers, after getting the victory on Sunday, they had to fly back from San Francisco, regroup.
Yeah.
Rough night.
Right.
Go to Nashville. Got the win. Now they got to fly back. Short week. Thursday night, here come the Patriots. It'll be 3 games between the 9th and the 19th. I've given up saying 3 games in 10 days because people are like, it's actually 11 days. Between the 9th and the 19th, they're playing 3 times. And that's coming up in just 3 days. On Thursday Night Football on Amazon, it's going to be the Patriots at the Jets. So we're going to hand out some superlatives. We didn't do this. I don't think we did this last week.
No, I don't think we did either. Right.
So this is bringing back something we've done in the past,
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
I vaguely remember doing this before,
Right.
where we just kind of come up with some sort of a funny, hopefully, but comedy is hard line, and then we talk about a game.
Right.
So I'll let you go first.
I'm not that funny, and I'm not that creative, nor am I a comedian. So I'm just going with taking off.
It hasn't stopped you in the past.
Okay, I know. Taking off. The Jets, their offense, it's going in the right direction. It's not going to blow you out of the water, but we've seen them run the ball a little bit better than we have seen in years past. Aaron Rodgers, I think, looked even a little bit more comfortable yesterday than he did in Week 1 against the 49ers. The 49ers game, let's be serious, there was 1 drive. That was all there is. There was more than that yesterday. Now, is it perfect? No. But again, I think you see them, they're trying to find a formula. Rodgers is getting more comfortable. I felt like he was less antsy in the pocket. And then when he see one-on-one on the outside, hey, my man can still throw it. And we saw that a number of times yesterday. He is comfortable attacking on the outside. He's not very aggressive down the middle. But again, you look at all these down the sideline, one-on-one. He's as good of a thrower, the back shoulders, covered guys along that boundary as there is in the history of football.
See, we could have gone negative and should have gone negative, and the superlative coming out of that game would have been the Carson Wentz Award.
Well,
because Will Levis has become Carson Wentz.
I wasn't going to give him the Tropic Thunder Award. I was, because he's had the 2 worst turnovers in football 2 weeks in a row.
Unbelievable. I mean,
Right.
It really is Carson Wentz.
Right.
The only difference is he isn't throwing them with his offhand.
I wanted to give the Jets love instead of just crapping on the Tennessee Titans. But, yeah, the Titans had a block punt for the 2nd week in a row. The Jets got points off of that. And then Will Levis, yes, Desi threw an interception. That was tough. But this play right here, 7-0, controlling the game. The Jets got nothing at this point. They're doubting themselves. Our Jets fans in our viewing room are stressing, and already the world's falling, and the Jets are horrible, and Salah's a horrible coach. And thank God that Wentz Garoppolo made this play here at the last second. But that is like as bad as it absolutely gets, and it did. It jump-started the Jets. It did. It got them going and certainly got them off the hook and took a little pressure off of them there early on when they were being outplayed by Tennessee.
I think he needs to hold the Mayo.
Damn, you're good. That's good. I like that too. Hold the Mayo.
All right. This is the Aaron Rodgers Achilles Rehab Partner Award because J.K. Dobbins was rehabbing last year at this time with Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And he told me yesterday, I said, give me your best Aaron Rodgers story. He said, we had a competition who would get here earliest for our rehab work. And he claims, now Rodgers would possibly dispute this, but it's not like Rodgers is going to answer my call or take my text, not that I even have his number, not that it matters. But Dobbins says he won every single day, that he got there before Rodgers, even though they had this competition. And we know how competitive Rodgers is.
Yeah.
Dobbins beat him there every single day. And Dobbins, 131 yards on 17 carries yesterday. He had 135 yards on, I think, 10 carries week 1. It's incredible to see a guy who has gone through so much physically, so much adversity. Torn ACL, torn Achilles tendon, and he was kind of caught in a little bit of a tug-of-war between the Harbaughs. John wanted to keep him in Baltimore. Jim wanted him with the Chargers. You know, I said they should have had him arm wrestle or something over it, but he ultimately chose Jim. He said he prayed on it, and he chose to go there. And now he goes to Pittsburgh this weekend. He's got 320-plus rushing yards in 3 career games against the Steelers, which is not easy to do.
Right.
So they better have answers for J.K. Dobbins, or the Chargers are going to have a little surprise for the Steelers on Sunday.
It's Harbaugh ball. I mean, again, Not sexy, not lighting up the stat sheet, but make the big plays when they got to, run the ball really effectively. Defense is playing like one of the better defenses in football, even though I know they haven't played great offenses yet. And then Herbert just makes a few splash throws. That's all they need. And it's great to see Quentin Johnson come along a little bit there.
A couple of touchdowns.
And be a guy that you go, ooh, maybe they can start to hang their hat on him.
We have 3 days until we will reconvene for our picks podcast.
Right.
But, boy, I just had a flash that I need to pick the Chargers over the Steelers this weekend.
Wow. It just came
I
to you
might
right
do
like
that.
that.
I might do that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where's that game at?
Pittsburgh.
It's in Pittsburgh?
Home opener
Damn,
for the
you're just
Steelers.
going to go against your team.
Well,
it's
I like to
two
be
teams
right.
that play a similar style of football. It'll be ugly and close, I could tell you that. That's what I do expect.
All right.
Yep.
Speaking of ugly and close, Raiders-Ravens. What do you got for that one?
What are we great at? That's my superlative, right? I'm dumbfounded by the Ravens and what's going on with them. I mean, maybe you guys in the back and pull this stat up, but what is it? 10 7-point leads?
Unbelievable.
They've blown more 7-point leads in the last 4 or 5 years than any team in football. That's kind of incredible when you talk about the culture of the Ravens. Wait, they have a great defense, and they're supposed to be a big, bad running team with Lamar Jackson. They should be able to close teams out better than anybody. That's what your football common sense tells you. But that's not the case. And this is an issue. It was an issue last year. It was an issue the year before, and here we are again. And up by 10 points against a team that I have no problem saying they're clearly more talented than. But what I want to say, and you kind of heard me say this last night, because this is, I do think, what it is of the Ravens. The Ravens are really good. We know that. I get that. But on the offensive side of the ball, I don't know if I would call the Ravens a great running team, and I don't know if I'd call them a great passing team. And I think that's what comes back to bite them in the ass in these moments. Their running statistics are always good. I get that. But a lot is all because of Lamar Jackson and his running ability. I value running teams that I look at and go, when they need to push the defensive lineman back and open a hole for 4 yards, they can do it whenever they want. And the Ravens can't always do that when they want. And even in this game, they had a drive or two where Derrick Henry had big runs, but it wasn't consistent. We're just dominating you off the line of scrimmage. You go into their pass game, more times than not, it's a collection of plays. You always hear me say surgicality is a thing, right? They are not a surgical pass team. That's not what they are. They're kind of like, hey, we made a few plays, and then, woo, Lamar made a big scramble, and Lamar made a big throw, and we went down and scored. And that's a hard way to kind of put teams away all the time. And the Raiders, tough as hell. But yeah, that's what I worry about the Ravens. What are they great at?
And look, anytime you have a season that ends in the number 1 seed,
Yep.
and you fall short of getting to the Super Bowl, and you feel like there's just a hard cap as long as Patrick Mahomes is around and you're not going to get past him, it's hard to go back to 0-0.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to reset. The valley of 0-0 is what Dennis Green called it. Everybody else is the same as you. You put in all that effort and all that work, and everything went your way last year, and you ultimately didn't even get to the Super Bowl. It's hard, I think, to focus and commit and put in that same week in and week out. And you learn how quickly a loss here and a loss there, oh, my God, it doesn't feel like last year. I mean, last year they were 13-4. This year they're 0-2.
Yeah.
They're halfway to their total losses from last year. And
Number 1 offense in football. I get all the stats. I get it. Number 1 rushing team last year. But yet in the biggest game, they didn't run. Right? And again, it's not running by we just kick your butt like Harbaugh and the Chargers are doing. It's Lamar make a play for us run. And that is not like dominating the line of scrimmage and dominating another team. And then when you get a great defensive coordinator like Patrick Graham and Antonio Pierce and the Raiders, who are tough and don't back down from anybody, and you see that Antonio Pierce style and the way he is as a person rubbing off on that football team, they didn't let Lamar run around crazy yesterday. My man Max Crosby was all over them late in the all game long, let alone late in the game, has the big sack. But that's what I look at with them. It does feel like a little like last year still. To like they need to have something on their offense they can hang their hat on and go, we're great at this, and in big moments we can do that. Instead, it feels like they choose to be, hey, we're good at this and we're good at this. but they need to be great to close some of these teams out, and that's an issue.
Well, and they're almost like the
Here we go. This is what I was looking for.
most blown double-digit leads in the fourth quarter of any coach since at least 1991 after losing to the Ravens for his 9th blown lead. That comes courtesy of Josh Dubow of the AP. It's almost like the Chiefs. They play with their food, but the Chiefs get away with it, and the Ravens don't.
The Chiefs make the big play, though, even in that moment to do that. And again, here was another game where statistically Baltimore looked better, but the Raiders made all the big plays in the big moments to win the football game. And it's showing you a little bit like, hey, there's some teams that like to move the ball between the 20s and 30s, and there's other teams that, they might not move the ball in between the 20s and 30s as much, but when they do move the ball, they go down and score touchdowns, and we saw that in Devontae Adams and Minshew got hot late in the game yesterday.
Weird moment late in the game.
Yeah.
I thought Lamar Jackson should have held on to the ball and tried to score that touchdown instead of
or
flipping
definitely
the ball
ran
away.
a little longer.
I
There was
felt
other
like
people
there was
out of the
more.
screen,
There was
but-
more. Yeah, but it's Lamar Jackson.
I know. You should have ran at least 10 more yards, it felt like.
So we'll see how they recover from it. I also think we're both dead in the gutter. I think we both had the
I'm
Ravens.
twice in
Did
a
I?
row.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
I'm dead in the gutter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hard to come back from that.
Suicide pool, whatever,
I
dead.
figured Ravens after extra time and salty, and the Raiders didn't look great week one. And
They were
kudos
up by
to the Raiders.
10 points in the fourth quarter.
Kudos to the Raiders for hanging tough and getting it done. And that's kind of culture building, faith building, find way to win. Gardner Minshew. This is why they have Gardner Minshew. He instills a belief that would be absent without him playing. Okay, last one real quickly. It doesn't make up for Super Bowl 49 award. It still doesn't make up for Super Bowl 49 award. The Seahawks are 3-0 against the Patriots since losing Super Bowl 49. They would trade all three of those and then some to have won Super Bowl 49, but they went into New England. They get the win in overtime. It looked like the Patriots were going to win it. I thought they were going to win it. The Patriots have nothing to be ashamed of. They have to turn it around on the short week now and take on the Jets. Geno Smith looked great, 33 for 44, 327 yards and a touchdown. And, the strength of the Patriots, the defense, well, they weren't defending Geno Smith very well on Sunday, and that ultimately contributed to the Patriots falling to 1-1.
Yeah, Seattle's they're explosive on the offensive side of the ball. I mean, Geno's got a big arm. We know that. Ryan Grubb, the new OC from Washington, you're seeing that, hey, they can attack down the football field a little bit. So he's added some juice to the offensive side of the ball and what they're doing there. I like that. Geno made a lot of big throws yesterday. He really did. And, of course, with DK Metcalf, Jackson Smith and Jigba and Lockett, it's a tough three guys to match up with if you want to play a ton of man-to-man and do that. But ultimately, it was a really good football game. The Patriots are tough, and the Patriots are maximizing what they are as a team. I mean, the defense is still, they let up a lot of yards, but it wasn't a ton of points. They kept them in the game, and damn can the Patriots run the football. I mean, Antonio Gibson yesterday, holy crap, did he control the clock, and they moved that Seahawks defensive line at will at points, but ultimately it was too many good players and big plays from the Seahawks to help them pull off the win.
Would have been something if the Patriots could have pulled it off and gotten to 2-0, but it was not to be.
Field goal blocked late, right?
Could have gone up 6.
Bad sack that Jacoby Brissett takes, loses yards. Now the kicker's got to kick the ball farther. The trajectory's a little lower. Gives the Seahawks a chance to block the field goal. They block it and ultimately allowed them to tie the game late with the field goal.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.